Good morning, everyone. Today, let us solve some exercises from sections 11.1, 11.2, and 11.3. So, from 11.1, exercises, 11.1 exercises, on page 668. So, let us solve exercise 8. So use the square root property to solve each equation. So exercise 8 is 2x squared minus 4 equals 0. So now solve this equation by square root property. So first isolate the variable. So move negative 4 to the other side. So add 4 to both sides. So we get 2x squared equal 4. Now divide by 2. So we get x squared equal 2. So now the variable is isolated. Now take the square root of both sides. So don't forget plus minus. Left hand side is x, right hand side is plus minus root. So the solution here is root 2 or negative root 2. Another one. So let us solve exercise 16. Also use the square root property to solve each equation. So x squared plus 4 equals 0. So isolate the variable, so subtract 4. So x squared equals negative 4. Now take the square root of both sides. Now left hand side equal x. Square root of x squared is x. Plus minus. Square root of negative 4, this is an imaginary number, this is complex number. So we can rewrite this radical as root 4 times root negative 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of negative 1 is I. So the answer is, or the solution is, 2i or negative 2i. Now from section 11.2. Section 11.2. Use the quadratic formula to solve each equation. So this is section 11.2. On page 678. Now let us solve exercise 8. Y square plus 5y plus 3 equals 0. So here in this example, if we compare this equation with ay square plus by plus c equals 0. So here a is the coefficient of y square. So here the coefficient of y square is 1. So a is 1. B is 5. And c equals 3. So now y equal negative b plus minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Substitute. So y equal negative b is 5 plus minus b square or 5 square minus 4 times a is 1 times c is 3 divided by 2 times a is 1. So y equal negative 5 plus minus 5 square is 25, 4 times 3 is 12 divided by 2. Or y equal negative 5 plus minus 25 minus 12 is 13 over 2. So now the answer is, or the solution are, minus 5 plus root 13 over 2, or minus 5 minus root 13 over 2. So now the answer is two real numbers. The first one is minus 5 plus root 13 over 2. The other one is minus 5 minus root 13 over 2. Exercise 49. Use the discriminant to determine the number and type of solutions. So exercise 49 is 9x minus 2x squared plus 5 equals 0. So first, rewrite this equation in the descending order. So we can rewrite it like negative 2x squared plus 9x plus 5 equals 0. So now, the coefficient of x squared is a. So here a equal negative 2, b equal 9, and c equal 5. So the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So now, if b squared minus 4ac is positive number, if b squared minus 4ac is positive number, then the solutions are two different real solutions. while if we get b squared minus 4ac 0, so the solution is one real solution, double root. While if b squared minus 4ac is negative, so the solutions are two non-real complex conjugate solutions. Let us check. So here b squared, b here is 9. So b squared or 9 squared minus 4 times a is negative 2, c is 5. Simplify. So 9 squared is 81. Negative 4 times negative 2, positive 8. 8 times 5 is 40. So the answer is 81 plus 40 is 121. So 121 is positive number. So now the solutions are two different real solutions. So now if we solve this equation by quadratic formula, so we will get two different real solutions because the discriminant is positive number. While if we get negative, so the solutions will be two non-real complex conjugate solutions. Now let us go over the section 11.3. So 11.3 exercises on page 687. And let us solve exercise 64. So 64. A water tank on a farm in Flatonia, Texas, can be filled with a large inlet pipe and a small inlet pipe in 3 hours. So if they work together, the large inlet pipe and the small inlet pipe, they need 3 hours to fill the tank. Now, the large inlet pipe alone can fill the tank in 2 hours, less time than the small inlet pipe alone. So now, the large inlet pipe alone can fill the tank in 2 hours, less time than the small inlet pipe alone. Find the time to the nearest tenth of an hour each pipe can fill the tank alone. So here this is the answer. The small pipe fill the tank in 7 hours and 7.2 hours, while the large pipe they need 5.2 hours. Why? Because the large pipe need 2 hours less time. So if the small pipe fill the tank in 7.2 hours, so the large pipe needs 7.2 minus 2 hours. So let us solve this exercise. So now we have this table. So we have small pipe then large pipe, then if they work together, so here hours to complete total job then part of job completed in 1 hour. This is the in general for any problem like this. So we have hours to complete total job, then part of job completed in 1 hour. So now if we let x is the time it takes small pipe to fill the tanks, so the large pipe needs how many hours? So look here, so the large pipe, where is it? So the large inlet pipe alone can fill the tank in 2 hours less time. So if the small pipe need x hours, so the large pipe need x minus 2. If they work together, they need how many hours? 3 hours. If they work together, they need 3 hours. So now part of job completed in 1 hour is 1 over this quantity. Part of job completed in 1 hour for the second one is 1 over x minus 2. Then the third one, 1 over 3. Then the equation is the sum of these two is equal to 1/3. So now we have this equation. 1 over x plus 1 over x minus 2 equal 1/3. Solve this equation to find x and x minus 2. So x is the time needs the small pipe to fill the tank. So now this equation contains a fraction. So to clear the fraction, multiply by least common denominator. So what is the least common denominator for 3x and x minus 2? So list all different factors. So if some factors repeated, choose one with the highest power. So here we have 3 factors. We have 3, we have x, and we have x minus 2. This is the least common denominator. So now multiply each term by least common denominator. So we get, so if you multiply each term by least common denominator, so we get 3x times x minus 2 times 1 over x. So we multiply the first fraction by least common denominator. The second one similarly. Then equal, multiply also 1/3 by least common denominator, which is 3x times x minus 2. Then simplify. So here, divide out by x. So we get 3 times x minus 2. X minus 2 is cancelled with x minus 2, so we get 3x. Equal, 3 is cancelled with 3, so x times x minus 2. So now we have this equation, which is cleared from fractions. Simplify. So here use the distributive property. Also here use the distributive property. So we get 3x minus 6 plus 3x equal x squared minus 2x. So simplify each side separately. So 3x plus 3x equals 6x minus 6. So now move these two terms to the other side. So subtract 6x, then add 6. Subtract 6x plus 6. So left hand side is 0. Right hand side is x squared minus 2x minus 6x minus 8x plus 6. So now solve this equation by any method. So by trial and error, you cannot solve this equation by trial and error. So you can solve it by completing the square or by quadratic formula. So let us solve it by quadratic formula. So we have x squared minus 8x plus 6 equals 0. Right? Yes. So we have this equation. So by quadratic formula, so here a is equal 1, the coefficient of x squared is 1, b equal negative 8, and c equals 6. So now x equal minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Substitute. Negative b, sorry. Substitute now. So negative, this is negative. B is negative 8 plus minus. B squared or negative 8 squared minus 4 times a is 1, c is 6 divided by 2 times a is 1. Simplify. So negative times negative is positive. Negative 8 squared is 64 positive. 4 times 6 is 24. Negative 4 times 6, negative 24 over 2. So the answer is 8 plus minus 64 minus 24. So 4 minus 4 is 0. 6 minus 2 is 4. And this is equal to 8 plus minus. Square root of 40, we can rewrite it like 4 times 10. Square root of 4 is 2, then keep root 10 over 2. So factor out 2. Between these two terms there is 2 in common. So factor out 2. So we get 4 plus minus root 10 over 2. Then 2 is cancelled with 2. So we get x equal 4 plus minus root 10. This is the answer. So now the solution is x equal 4 minus root 10 or x equal 4 plus root 10. So we reject the solution. Why? So here, this one, 4 minus root 10. Root 10 is approximately equal to 3 point something. Let us say this one approximately equal to 3. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So if x equal 1, 1 equal what? Is the time needed the small pipe to fill the tank. So if we need to calculate the time for the large pipe, which is x minus 2, so 1 minus 2, so we get negative number. So we reject the solution. So the answer is x equal, we accept this, 4 plus root 10. So here root 10 is equal what? Which is approximately equal to 4 plus 3.2, which is equal to 7.2 hours. So the small pipe needs 7.2 hours to fill the tank. Now, if we need to find the time that need the large pipe to fill the tank, which is x minus 2, so 7.2 minus 2 is 5.2 hours. This is the time needs the large pipe to fill the tank. This one for large pipe. While 7.2 hours is for small pipe. So now also try to solve some exercises from this section. You can solve like 66, which is similar to this one. Thank you.